Hello to the amazing people, TheNeomare here, and welcome back to Somewhere Limbus Company, an amazing tactical turn-based gacha from Project Moon. You can find the full playlist in the comment description below the video. The last two episodes will be the start of the chapter 6 here, the Wuthering Heights, and story about Heathcliff's past. And in this one we're gonna continue the adventure and we're gonna have another fight here. So a warm reception, well, a little bit too warm maybe. A little bit too warm. Enemy info, okay, we don't know what enemies there will be, but we need to clear it in 10 turns and it should be easy enough. Let's jump in and do it. Our standard team of, well, amazing IDs that we collected over the seasons here, and yeah, let's hope they pull us through like they always do. Two people sad by a dying heart, surrounded by their respective posse. It was quite apparent from the way they sat opposite of one another that their relationship was far from amicable. On one end was a group of people dressed in mysterious masks, surrounded by a jumpy-looking man who looked like he was one little nudge away from hollering foul insults at everyone. On the other end was a group of people dressed in identical uniforms. Sinclair told me that they were wearing the outfit that most manor employees wear to each other. Identical uniforms to each other. Okay, that was a weird sentence. One of them stood out, as he was the only one among them in a black suit. He appeared somewhat uncomfortable. It seemed as though he was in a great deal of pain merely by being here. And between the two groups were fixers. I recognized their outfits. Forethought that it must be fixers from O Feast Association. It is quite rare to even get a sighting of a single Ophi fixer. They required quite a momentous occasion to even grace us with their presence. Okay, well, Don Quixote being her actual self, like getting super excited about everything. Shh, we'll have time to ask for autographs later. Later, alright? I had to coax Don Quixote, who was practically quivering, from immediately running to them and for signatures, because we had unintentionally become the center of attention from the entire room. The center of a very negative attention. By gum, that vagabond has returned. The bloody shame of Wuthering Heights. Well, I think she's referring to Heathcliff here. Same old Josephine, Look at it, I'm strutting about like he owns this place. If our mistress were to witness this travesty... Gosh, Josephine, that's quite enough. Don't mind her, Heathcliff. This blessed land of Wuthering Heights reduced to an asylum for vagrants and drifters. If the mistress had been here to witness this tragic, deplorable state of affairs... Well, I guess they don't really like poor old Heathcliff. At least, well, his quote-unquote nanny does. This is like one evil person, Josephine. Okay, I wonder what story this is from. There must be a story about it, right? There was an old woman in the room who was muttering some... So last story, chapter 5, I guess, was it? Was about the Moby Dick and Captain Ahab. Was quite a story, actually. So yeah, I wonder what story is this from. I should investigate. There was an old woman in the room who was muttering some choice words at us while staring with eyes full of hatred. Ah, the witless brigand returns, and quite delayed at that. How dare you show your face? Hindley, please, exercise some restraint. Heathcliff, I hardly did expect your return. You have yet to let Catherine go still. It was clear that the two had both been acquainted with Heathcliff for a while, but the nature of that acquaintance was more of a long-standing hatred stemming from the deep history of contention they shared. One of the two was hardly hiding his hatred, allowing it to fully seize control of his words and actions, but the other one's hatred had sunk deep into his heart, boiling and writhing underneath. Ha! Right, I wasn't exactly expecting a grand welcome upon my return, but I ain't here to see your ugly mugs. It's like you always said, my base nature is just incapable of change. Heathcliff shot back with just as much vitriol, as though he was always used to this kind of scorn and humiliation. The man in black suit turns away as though it would degrade him to even entertain him with an answer, but this man they called Hindley You unscrupulous shit, you bloody animal, know a thing lesser than a savage beast. jumped up from his seat, his face turning bright red from anger. By the looks of it, you found yourself a band of vagrants and vagabonds just like you, eh? Crawling back to see if there's something worth pilfering from this place. You lot, beat his arse and teach him a lesson. Break a bone or two. Heedless lackey, no orders from boss. Shut it, I'm your boss. I hired him and the rest of you. I don't expect these bonehead fools to give you much trouble anyway. Head of bone? What on earth is that fellow speaking of? He's just expressing his explicit desire to get his ass beat. Well, since he asked for it. Okay, new enemies. Hefty Dead Rabbit's Henchman. Alright, I've got some skills here. This one rolls max 10, some defense levels down, ruptures. And nothing really. They'll plus 10% damage to targets with the least HP. Interesting. Hefty Dead Rabbits. Okay, then we got slow ones, which... Yeah, I mean... I'm not expecting any trouble here. So, yeah, here we can go like... You can just choose which skill goes where. We cannot choose who attacks whom. So these easy fights, just best to just auto-complete them. Like, clicking here, win rate, and then the game chooses the clashes. So for these kind of fights, the biggest part of preparation is actually putting a strong team together, not worrying too much. But, yeah. We will gonna get to the fights where it will actually matter who attacks whom and like E.G.O usage, but here it's just gonna be a little bit of a slice and dice. Well, we are losing some clashes, but not much I can do about it. Well, I guess from the next turn on we will be able to use E.G.Os if we feel like we need to, yeah. Well, interesting how this one like pops up first always. I guess it's the composition of the team that... And for example, like this one, we need like more light blue. We are really short on light blue. Yeah, and the game chooses like not using light blues because they're usually the weakest attacks that I have. But yeah, like I said, this is gonna be relatively easy, I think, so... Oh yeah, I finally read... Ooh, this is... He's getting very close to actually doing some friendly fire. The Sinclair is very specific. He loses sanity when using his abilities, and if he gets to minus 45, he distorts. Yeah, is it? Yeah. Anyway, Schwarzvogelfolk had told me in a comment an interesting thing for Roja. So Roja, when she does her skill 3, she gains insight times 20% of max HP shield if this skill is discarded. No, that's not it. On use, discard 2 skills of the lowest ranks in all of this unit's skill slots. This slot gains 5 aggro next turn if target has 7 plus sinking. Is that it? In clash power plus 2. Yeah, something about like using one of the abilities and then getting like a bonus and then keeping it by like doing this and just using the top skill and then like this. So right now she has like insight. Last discarded skill rank 1, base value 1. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, I get it. So this is how it works, right? So yeah, so you discard something with a high rank and get lots of insight. Yeah, so for example, gain insight if this skill is discarded to skills of lower ranks. Yeah, I guess you need to discard this one to get max amount of insight, or this one maybe. And then for the rest of the fight, you just defend here and just use this top ability. And then it's not possible to discard anything because there's a shield there. And then you keep high insight throughout the fight and get nice bonuses from it. Actually, I don't know if that is optimal or not, but I would think that it probably is if somebody's writing a comment about it. And well, Was it Schwarzflugelfalke, right? Would be a little bit humiliating, if not. Yeah, it was Schwarzflugelfalke. Discard a single skill tree with either her defense skill or skill 2. Skill 1 can discard other skills, then just turn the bottom slot into defense and never use it. And always use the top row so she can stay as 3 inside the entire battle, as she used skills can discard anything. As the used skill can discard anything. Yeah, so yeah, thanks Schwarzflugelfalke for this insight. Maybe I'll try it out. Sounds pretty good. Hindley's, like, I would never have guessed though. Like, if somebody asked me like what happens if you turn an ability into a shield and then use the other one, I would say, well, it's probably still can discard it, right? Because like, yeah, there is like a shield there, but you're not really using that shield, so it's even like if it wasn't there. So I wonder, is this like a glitch abuse, or is this how it should work like intended? Yeah, I guess that's, I would like to hear a 0SEEK opinion on this as well. Is this how he uses the skill? Does he consider it an exploit? And well, anyhow, let's continue the story. Hindy's lackey. Good, now I'll separate the bones from your flesh and personally introduce you to your own skull. Oi, lads! A casual yet powerful voice booms across the hall, immediately breaking the tension in the room. Oh, maybe it was like, oi, lads! It might be Catherine, we'll see. Or is that the boss of these guys? Oh, it's the boss. I was just gone for just a minute to get some water. What the hell's happened there? This is one fucking manner, eh? Would have been faster to go bucket a cup of water from the well myself. Boss, we have a guest. So that's their boss. Yes, executive manager. It is immediately obvious from the way he walks and from the way he carries himself that he's someone quite experienced in combat. Right on time, you lackeys are lacking. How could they let groups of no-name hooligans knock them on their asses? Go on, show them the meaning of pain. Looks like I've got to give my man some proper demonstration. The boss confidently strode toward Heathcliff, then gave him a playful smack on the back of his head. A playful smack? Oh, is that Catherine? Oh no, it's his old boss, okay. Well, it sounds like a male's voice, but it's very muffled because of these things they have on their faces. So the voice acting, which is like in Korean, which I, well, don't know. Well, I think it's Korean anyway. It's like, doesn't mean much to me, so I'm just, you know, doing the voiceover myself. Oi lad, I'm the first thing to do when crawling back into your neighborhood to give a quick hello to your dear old boss. Where'd you leave your manners? Huh? You lot, wipe that stuffified look from your faces and bow before I'm... Come on, hurry up. Show some bloody respect. Well, what? No, it can't be. The man waded past both the aftermath of the brawl and the heavy tension that filled the man like he was out on a stroll. He just walked into the middle of it all, then put his arm around Heathcliff's shoulder. It was the kind of friendly gesture that only someone who's known Heathcliff for a long, long time could do. Okay. Because it's so friendly, that's why I thought it might be Catherine, but I guess not. Oh no, it is Catherine, maybe. Yeah, okay. But why? The game's like calling it man, 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 but actually... actually, my instincts might have been correct. Let's find out, were they or not? Oh no, it's not. Okay. But it said Catherine, so we might meet Catherine finally here in this story segment. Boss, Matthew? Right on, you muppet. You've been gone for so long that you don't even recall what we mad bunnies used to look like. Mad bunnies? You know that vagrant for long? Why haven't you told me so? I hardly imagined you'd be interested in hearing every little friend I made back when we were just another gang rolling in the sweaty, muddy streets. Boss, why are you working with this blighter? Wait, no, but... That mask, those rabbit ears... Wait, you're still with the dead rabbits? Yeah, we've changed that, eh? Remember, lad, back in the day we all needed to crack some Addams Family's ads. Was some... Addams Family? Crack some Addams Family ads, some tattered scarf around one arm and bottles of beer and tab. We even named one of them beers after you, didn't we? The pub that used to sell that beer closed shop a few weeks ago. And got much business around with that dreadful rumor keeping everyone home nowadays. What? The Wolf's Fall closed? Bloody hell. Oh, I suppose I'm leaving you all out of the loop, eh? Well, allow me to introduce the gaffer. He was a boss of the old syndicate I used to run with. They all friends of yours, eh? Joined some posh proper company after running out on us out of nowhere, did ya? Well, things just worked out that way. Are all them lads and lasses your lackeys? Blimey, got a walking timepiece with you too. You daft bastard, you've certainly moved up in the world, eh? Lackeys? Ishmael glared at Heatley with a look that could kill, but she decided to hold her silence and merely shook her head in disbelief. She probably decided it was not worth the trouble. So, what's up with the masks, boss? What, is it odd? Trends change with time, lad? The time for scarves with rabbit embroidery is long past. Oh, is that so? It looks a bit... Of course not. What do you think we are? We are that rabbits, ain't a bookish rabble that follows the caught tales of some naff trend. You've really not once returned to this place since you left, have you? No, when I left this manor and eventually the dead rabbits, I made a promise to myself that I'd not return. Yet here he is returning. Haha. The call of heart cannot be ignored. Not even a step closer to this place until I've made something of myself. Not until I can return as a successful man. Well, you've always hated this place. Oh, that went by really fast. Oh well. I've got news for you, Heathcliff. We are no longer the same lowly backstreet gang you're familiar with. I suppose we've also moved up in the world. Someone from the ring who'd been keeping their eyes on us plucked us right off the streets and into their fold. We're bigger now. We're one of the up-and-coming syndicates. The ring? One of the fingers? Must be the foulest of the ring, then. They are the only ones who'd outfit their underlings with these cheap tacky animal masks. Then you're... Yeah, little shit. I'm the top boss of the dead rabbits now. Boss? Remember what you always used to say when we reached filled up with more than 3 bottles of beer? But we drank some lousy beer made from halfway rotten wheat, Heathcliff. All that I remembered come the next morn was a pounding headache and a light feeling of our emptied pockets. You used to tell me that it hurt like hell every time one of your own men came back to us hurt, even the recruits. Like they hurt not just any underling, but an extension of you. I knew you'd make it big one day, boss. Well, I suppose drunk me knew how to wax poetic. I knew it was you, Matthew. The mask threw me off for a moment, boss. What a sorry sight this is. I sincerely apologize to you two sweethearts for crashing your tearful reunion. But the point is, while you were wandering the streets, wasting away the best years of your life on the road, Matt's made something of himself, which is why I hired him as my bodyguard. You hear me? Not like you and your merry band of no-name second-rate hooligans. Oh yeah, we're going incognito here, so we cannot say, no, we are not no-name, we are Limbus Corporation. We cannot say that. Please, Don Quixote, don't say anything. I could think of more than a few sinners who had gotten angry enough to brandish their weapons at such an insult, but they all seem to remember that responding to such insults with violence only begot pointless turmoil, so instead they all began sighing heavily in an attempt to vent some of their pent-up anger. Hindley, you seem to be sorely mistaken. This isn't the same winter you trashed me, treated me like an indentured servant, and abused me like a hound. I won't deny that I spent many days and nights imagining tearing that foul tongue from your gob. But, Heathcliff glanced briefly in our direction. Even a poor soul like myself found a place to belong. Went on adventures to places you couldn't even imagine. Learned a thing or two from them. So I just feel bad for you, mate. Oh well. So we got some character progression here. Like the Heathcliff was like a 100% brute when we started this game, and look at him now. Oh boy, did he go far. What? Because you really haven't changed one bit. Besides, the hell is that rag you're wearing? You look more like a drifting vagabond than I do. Oh, how the tables have turned. Yeah, indeed, Heathcliff does look remarkable in his outfit. This one, I don't fancy that much. Looks a bit scuffed. What, you insolent fool? That man's been saying some pretty nasty stuff about us, but he doesn't even look like someone that's worth arguing with. Ha, mate, did you even check yourself in the mirror in the last week? Oh, that's a good insult. If somebody pisses you off, hey, did you even check yourself in the mirror in the last week? Oh boy, I can't bear to look at you so down in the dumps, Hindley. Of course, we had no way of knowing what Hindley looked like in the past, but we could pretty easily tell that he was far from the most stable person in the room. You effing bastard! Now, Mr. Hindley, why don't you seat yourself on this sofa and calm down? Be more considerate of our boys standing in that corner, watching the whole thing go down, huh? They don't even get this comfy looking leather sofas. Hindley grumbled for a moment before slumping down on a sofa. And even that simple action was stumbling and pathetic. I see what happened. He let the alcohol consume him, and not the other way around. Fell into a big nasty barrel with no way out. I've seen the same look on some sailors. Failing to put themselves out of that habit would lead them straight into the merciless maws of the lake. Not even a trace of them would be left. Well, this man's still my client. Mr. Hindley hired me for some job, which is why I'm here at Wuthering Heights. Job? Catherine's hosting this banquet, ain't she? What kind of job could possibly need the dead rabbit's help here? What? Huh, a banquet? Well, I suppose there is one thing that hasn't changed with time. It's that witless, useless idiot brain of yours, you absolute dullard. Hindley, please cease this at once, I implore you. I do not wish to see my manners sullied by such foul obscenities. This is not your home, Linton, it's mine, it's my manor. You're the one who sullied this noble Wuthering Heights, my birthright bestowed upon me by my father, by taking it from me by the means of trickery. Oh, is this like a wake? Did their father die and now they're arguing who's gonna inherit the manor? It sure looks that way. Was your own family manor too small for you, Linton Edgar? Your oh so noble Edgar family. Edgar family. The time for whining, crying, and throwing a tantrum to get you want is long past. Bold words for some milksop who's about to choke himself to death on air. Discreet butler, please maintain your distance, Mr. Hindley. I've seen mongrels more loyal than you lot. I was your master only a few years ago. Have you cast aside your memories as well when you did your loyalty? Cease this at once, Miss Master Hindley. The butlers have all left Hindley earth behind, as you're very well aware yourself. And you too, butlers, we do not want to make further trouble here, Understood, Chief Butler Nelly. Butler's taking the initiative. After a brief silence, Heathcliff finally brought up the question he'd been stewing for so long. Nelly, where is Catherine? You must know, Nelly, that Catherine never did like those commotions. So many guests making so much noise in her home. She won't be pleased. I suppose she never did. Oh, is she dead? No, please. I've been keeping my volume in check because I didn't want to offend her, but it's getting harder and harder to keep it down. There was a look of unfathomable, immeasurable grief on both Linton and Nelly. Oh, she's dead, isn't she? Oh, crap. Well, this game. Hindley was absent-mindedly mumbling some foul language at the ceiling. And Heathcliff probably sensed from this ineffably dark and ominous silence that something was terribly wrong. It was setting in for us as well. After all we've been through in this journey, this kind of silence was all too familiar. Where is Catherine? What's with this door look on everyone? I'm terribly sorry, Heathcliff. Why? Why are you sorry? What the hell are you sorry about? Heathcliff, I may have a correct assumption as to what this silence indicates. So, I have no other choice but to tell you, as it is common courtesy to do so, that I'm very sorry to hear that. What the? Can't you talk normally for once? I hardly know how to tell you this, but Miss Catherine isn't here anymore. Whoa, this hits hard. I didn't even know Catherine, but just seeing how excited Heathcliff was about meeting her and the hairdo and all the dress up and everything, I was really wondering how their interaction will go. I was worried that she'll break his heart again, yet this is even worse. There's some kind of finality to her not being here anymore. The feels. What do you mean she's not? Yeah, Heathcliff, come on, even your brute brain can figure it out by now. poor sod. Catherine. She's dead. Well, that was, yeah, a bit painful. I am gonna cut it short here. I'm gonna continue the next episode. I don't know why I'm like so, like, you know, the feels and everything like that. It's just a game, but still, I don't know. I was kind of getting hyped up to see who Catherine was and how this will all turn out. And now she's dead. Ugh. Oh, the writer of this thing. Anyhow, if you're enjoying this story the same way I am, don't forget to like and subscribe. I wish you all to have a wonderful day. Do some nice things, be kind to each other, and yeah, let's make the world a better place together. And yeah, take care of yourself, take care of those who you love. Yeah, well, you never know when, well, some of you might, well, not be here anymore. So yeah, it's important to cherish the moments. Don't go YOLO though, that's crazy, but still. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode of Limbus Company. TheNeomare signing out. Bye bye.